the Ateliere has recently joined SVG Europe as a gold sponsor. Tell us a bit about what you offer the sports production industry.
Certainly, thank you, and pleasure to be here at Wimbledon and to be sponsoring the SVG. We have a number of propositions which we think are very relevant for sports production and for sports producers going forwards and broadcasters. We, for a long time, have had a supply chain proposition called Ateliere Connect, which has been of relevance to the industry, but has been particularly picked up by the media and entertainment side, so episodic production of scripted content, movies and so on. And Ateliere Connect is all about managing the supply chain of your finished assets through the cloud over to distribution. So that's been a proposition which has been used at quite significant scale by the likes of Lionsgate, MGM, and a few others, Viaplay in Europe, to give a European example. And recently what we've done is we've started looking at where that's going from the point of view of the overall industry and how we can evolve our technology proposition to really start to address what we think is one of the key challenges going forwards for the industry. And that's how you also then link that whole supply chain through to the live production side of things. So we've recently launched Ateliere Live. We've invested quite a bit through the acquisition process of that technology, and we recognized a piece of technology which we felt was really differentiated in the marketplace, but perhaps a little bit unknown in the broader scale of what's going on, and that's GPU-based live production. So what does that mean? It means that rather than having multiple different systems all chained together to produce your content in a very sort of traditional broadcast setup, it's much more IT-centric. Everything's in the GPU, and that means we can really compress the equipment footprint down for what it takes to get live production done. And also a second unique capability is time-stamping every single camera feed that comes in. And we think time-stamped and time-addressable media storage is also something that comes ahead. So taking that time-stamped live content and also offering the capability to store it in Ateliere Connect and reuse it based on its time-stamping and metadata associated, we think is a really key proposition going forwards. And all that comes together in some really interesting use cases for sports producers.
Absolutely, yeah. And tell me more about Ateliere Live and those specific benefits it brings to content creators in sports.
Sure, so thanks to that GPU-centric nature of the technology, first and foremost, it's really about cost savings going forwards. I think that's a key challenge that we have to address head on in the industry coming over the next few years. We really feel that the reduction in the number of independent systems required that are chained together, compressed down into that one platform, really is a key enabler of those cost savings. We have got one of our key customers on record, which is always nice, confirming they're at least 50% cheaper in terms of the cost per hour of live content produced using this approach. And we have started doing some assessments which show that it actually will be substantially higher by the time you take into account more of the side benefits. And some of those are things like having to send less equipment actually on site as well, because the same approach that we take in the core production, we also take down in the camera ingest side of things, where we timestamp the content before sending it into the main production core. So that reduction in travel obligations, the ability to remotely produce, also is a big driver of those cost savings. And of course, sustainability benefits are also something that follows along from that. The power reductions required for a typical size production can be very significant, upwards of 80 or even 90%.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned efficiencies and sustainability. What are the challenges are your customers facing, and how is Ateliere helping them to address these?
So I think if you then take it beyond those core cost saving and sustainability benefits, there are a number of other trends in the industry which we can apply this technology to. And I think one of them is really flexibility and adaptability. It's becoming less and less possible, I think, for many sports producers or broadcasters to justify big capex intensive investments for new studio facilities and for new production facilities. A lot more of what we do in the industry, I think, will be on demand. It will be automated, it will be orchestrated, it will be set up and torn down on demand for the event. And that's something which, to achieve that really at scale, you have to have software, you have to have flexible hardware platforms running that software, you have to have APIs that your business orchestration from the point of view of your schedules and your business plan can go in and actually set those things up automatically. And that API-driven approach around that core production software is something that we're a very big believer in. So exposing everything via APIs, you can go review them on the website right now, is something that we think is really key. And committing publicly and long term to supporting an ecosystem of partners and not trying to become an all-encompassing production end-to-end system. That's not what we're about. We're about providing really core capabilities and working with best-of-breed partners and our customers to fill out around the edges to actually produce the full production gallery capability.
That's brilliant. I look forward to working with you more in the next year.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.